You ever wonder what these cell phones are made out of? Um, a lot of the material that's found in a cell phone is known as coltan, which is a mine that's usually found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. About 80% of the world supply of coltan is found in the Democratic Republic of Congo. And this is mined by little kids, families, kids that are not going to school, and it ends up in your hands, for your own luxury, for texting and so forth. And a lot of the cell phones, such as Samsung, Blackberries, and all that, use coltan. Today's topic is about coltan in the Democratic Republic of Congo, mostly in East Africa, and that's why pretty much it's very infested with war, with rebels that are there to pretty much exploit the natural resources that the area has to give. Coltan is a huge issue because as of the war that's been going on, people have been losing their lives.
The situation in Congo, I think most people know, to be the conflict in the neighboring areas and the government not being able to control the violence in eastern Congo. But I think one of the most important aspects of that war is controlling the resources of the Congo. As many people know, Congo has one of the most diverse in terms of quality and most in terms of quantity in natural resources. And I think there have been many actors, both internal and external, that have played a part in exploiting that resource. And as the earlier segment talked about, some of the resources used in cell phones. What's important is a lot of the mining occurs not through government contracts or private enterprise, but through rebels who want to have some sort of monetary resource in order to buy weapons and killing more people and creating more chaos. And what's happening in these mines, some gold, some other metallic resources.
Kids are not going to school in parts of the eastern part of the Democratic Republic of Congo because the institutions are no longer available to cater to them. Many families survive on pretty much less than $1 a day, and you find the coltan business has become such a widespread phenomenon that you find it's a whole family affair. You find fathers, mothers, and their little children going into the mines and trying to dig as much coltan as they can so they can sell it to the rebels, and the rebels in turn sell it to these other European companies.
The conditions are terrible. There have been a few documented cases in which people that worked in these mines have had deformities due to contracting, I guess, what you would call mercury, and what's used in the extraction process, especially in gold. And what happens is a lot of these extraction sites are on rivers that flow towards other villages in which the water is highly contaminated with mercury. And a lot of these villagers, a lot of people working in the mines are highly affected and contract horrible disease.
Where does this money come from? A cell phone, you can buy a cell phone for retail price of $600, and of course with the contract it becomes about $40, $50. How much of that money do you think goes back to the original person who is dodging bullets, who is digging day and night, who's not going to, that little kid that's underage, that's not going to school, that's in the mines, and trying to dig out these little stones known as coltan so you can have your little luxury of to text to anybody you want to. Have you ever thought about that?
And the money, I think what happens usually is one rebel group would have control of the mine site, and another rebel group would come in and unseat them and would sell it to someone like the rebel leaders in Uganda, which through that would come to our markets, to China, to other European international companies. And I mean, just as you can protest child labor and sweatshops used in China to make your Nike shoes, I think it should be of importance for us to recognize what goes on in building these cell phones or building in anything that contains a lot of these rare metallic objects, as well as the gold and the diamond that we all like to adore and wear.
A UN report tried to put on where the coltan can be coming from, but of course we've seen the results of that is that people usually ignore those kinds of reports, and as far as winning money is concerned, anything is possible.
Head and cry, 'cause her son had been shot down.